Last race we had to replace our engine because we didn't have enough wear to make it to the end of the race, and we lost about half an engine's worth of wear. This race we finished third, potentially because this track is not suitable for 2 stops. I looked at 2 of the past results and the fastest drivers were doing 2 stops. But then if we look at a few of the even earlier races, then I found out it was about 3 or 4 stops. And the person who won the race and was faster than us by 50 seconds, which was Ethan, was about 50 seconds quicker. We got stuck behind Giovanni for a few laps at the start, and that cost us a lot of time, and we were right behind Sukas at the end. You can see a lot of the people are doing 3 or 4 stops. We were in front of Sukas for a few 10 or 20 laps, and we thought we got it initially, but at the end we dropped behind him. And we were about 6 seconds slower than Sukas before his car blew up. I'm gonna say the difference in the 6 seconds that we were slower was mainly due to starting with less fuel and putting the higher tire wear at the end of the race. If we were a bit more risky and start with the higher fuel load, and we'll have lost a bit less time at the start and we'll be a bit quicker at the end. You can see Ethan did 4 stops and it wasn't optimum. You can see that Ethan pit at lap 36, but to make it to the end he need to pit at lap 39 or 40, and he did a very short pit stop near the end, so he lost a bit of time, otherwise he'll be even quicker. At the start of the race, Ethan was able to pit on lap 13, so I suggest potentially he could make it to the end with only 3 pit stops. And because this race our driver weren't able to start with max stamina, that also made us lose a bit of time. And our driver made 2 mistakes this race, which is typical. Sometimes if we are lucky, maybe only 1 mistake. We can see our best lap time was 45 seconds, and George behind us was 44.2 and 44.7. So we can see even with the slower best lap we were faster because we optimized our driver and everything, and we were more efficient. If we look at our teammate, he was 45 seconds slower, but he finished overall 4th and we only finished 3rd. So there's so much competition in our group right now. You can see Ethan in our group finished 28th fastest. I think that's just ridiculous. And if he actually optimized his strategy, potentially he would be like right up at the number 1 position. We can see that we finished top 150, but that's only good enough for 3rd place. If we look at the race results after some calculations, we can see a lot of the car parts actually had less wear than the calculator suggested. If the calculator was more accurate, then we wouldn't have to have changed the engine and would have saved a bit of money. Also had a look at the lap times. Our car setup is approximately optimal already, so we're not going to do anything. And if we look at the tire wear, this race the wear was about 5% less than our calculator. And we saw the same difference of 2 liters in the fuel due to rounding. And we can see that this track, we calculated that it's 1.61, and for 3 pit stops the average is 1.55. So next time, instead of relying entirely on the past results, we should potentially do an extra or less pit stop depending on also our calculated track characteristic. This track we're going to do is going to rain. We entered the details and we got the values of the rain percent. And for this track, it's optimum of 3 pit stops, so we're going to do something like that. We're going to do the sponsor negotiation. You're going to click the mid-table position and prevent the sponsor from leaving, because previously if we click the higher ones, the sponsor could potentially leave us, but this one has the high negotiation, so it's a bit easier, but we still don't want to be too risky. I think we'll get paid more if we click doing better next season, but we're gonna do the training for our driver, and we're gonna do reducing weight again. Drop 1 kg and gain 2 stamina. You can see Ethan's driver was, with this salary, I think it's those, well, that GPRO generated drivers that we saw at the start of the season, and has a low weight. I think he potentially picked one with 63 kilograms. If we actually picked a 61 kilogram one and potentially have even better stats, he will potentially be more competitive. We calculated that we gain about 40 points or 30 points equivalent of concentration with the higher salary going to 1.05 million, but we thought it wouldn't make that much difference. And our current race results, it seems like that the car updates doesn't really gain much performance, and would have actually been better to sign that better driver and spend that extra 6 to 8 million a season, and will probably be more efficient. We can see that we have to replace the brakes for this race. We don't need to replace the suspension, because if we drop from 37 to 36 CTR, it will only be 98 wear at the end, so it's probably just enough. Also had a look at downgrading the brakes, but it still wouldn't get us enough wear to finish the race. And we can see after all of the testing, we've got about 4.5 points in each category, and our car is going to be faster. We're also going to look at the achievements that we got, and we only got achievements for last season. Got the most points for our team, and we won the last race. We got a lot of the starting from pole position. We're also going to enter the lap time, and this is based off the dry one, and we know that with the current percent it can range up to 7 to 15 minutes. And if we look at 5 minutes, the minimum range would be 3 laps, and the max range we would expect to have 16 laps. If we look at our tire weight, we can choose medium and do a free stop. Also entered the fuel for the medium tire, and we can see that both dry and wet use a similar amount of fuel. I'm going to choose the soft tire, because at the start of the race it could range as low as only 3 laps, and we know the average maximum will be 15 minutes, and 20 minutes should be enough margin. And with the soft tires we can do up to 12-13 laps. We're gonna choose 53 liters of fuel and we can complete 13 dry laps or 14 wet laps. Gonna find the setup for the car. We calculated the final setup and we're gonna find the wing split. We got the best qualifying time with this one, so we're gonna do the setup close to this one. We're gonna qualify using the low risk. We were only 0.4 seconds less than our net time, so that's a very good qualifying. We're gonna do Q2. The qualifying was good and was consistent throughout both qualifying. You can see we're the same 2.8 seconds on Q1 and Q2. Since there's enough time for our driver to rest, we're going to increase the risk a bit. We increased the risk by 3 points. Also, because this race is wet, we will need to add a wet coefficient for the car wear. So going to copy the car wear into our calculator. I'm going to choose a 20 wear compensation because our setup was different previously with very low compensation, so I'll be a bit safer. Calculated the race results, race setup, and we also converted to a wet setup.